Hey there folks, Shadefire here, and this is the first, I guess, proper voiced boss Bytes video. I've come to another boss, however, this one is not one that's giving me the business and, you know, getting me frustrated. This is actually a boss that I wanted to do because it was a pretty cool fight, and I actually kind of gave up the fight so that I could do this video, because obviously Dark Souls constantly autosaves, so, you know, it's not like I could load an earlier save to show it off. When you complete anything in this game, it's forever until you start a new character. Because you can have multiple saves with multiple different characters, but you can't have multiple saves on the same character. So again, anything you do is permanent, even if you accidentally stab an NPC and then have to kill them. But yeah. So funny thing, I was gonna go, instead of using my typical strength build of strength, you know, shield plus greatsword, I was gonna go dex this time, which I haven't really done in a Souls game. And then I found this dexterity-based greatsword, so I've been using that. It's the, what is it, the Hollow Slayer greatsword? I'm pretty sure I got this from the tree boss, the Great Rotted, or Curse Rotted Greatwood. It was a boss item. I think. I might have just found it, I'm not sure. But it's been doing me pretty good. It's a replacement from the halberd I was using. So the boss is just up here. This is the Farron Keep area. However, the boss run can be a little annoying because there are two Dark Wraiths here, and Dark Wraiths basically fight like players. They're very fast, they're pretty tough, and they have a good variety of moves. However, these guys don't like the locals up there, so they are going to fight. We're going to try to run past them while they're distracted. We're just going to go around the outside, and here we go. Alright, so this is the Abyss Watchers fight. These guys are fast and pretty deadly. I say these guys because, of course, it is the Abyss Watchers, not the Abyss Watcher. Now that said, he doesn't actually have a lot of health. Oh boy. Now, if you've played Dark Souls 1, you might notice these guys kind of fight like Artorias, and there is actually a story reason for that. Also, there is more than one of them, obviously. However, only that one back there counts as the boss. The other ones have their own health bars. Let's see, this fight can get a little chaotic for a different reason. Yeah, there we go. These guys don't like each other either. They will infight amongst themselves. Because they're undead, it doesn't really matter, they'll just get back up again. However, they will also turn around and gang up on me. Like, for as much as people don't like the Dark Souls 2 dudes in armor bosses, these are some of the best fights in Dark Souls, just these enemies who are just as fast as, if not faster than you, but still humanoid-sized. Like, Artorias is a great fight. Funny thing, Devil May Cry is like that too. The humanoid enemies that are almost as capable as you are pretty much some of the best fights. But yeah, this guy's pretty cool. Nope. He nicked me with that tiny little swing. Okay, you can see he really doesn't have a lot of health, so as long as you can avoid his crazy fast attacks, which is not too hard to avoid if you roll, it's not too hard. But there's a little bit more to it than that. Actually, I just noticed that the one that fights the other ones has red eyes. I think he might actually be just like afflicted. You notice they're ganging up on him. don't know if the other two would actually infight if I didn't interfere. Alright, there we go. Easy peasy. See? He's dead. He's done with. But of course, the Abyss Watchers, Farron's undead legion, are one of the Lords of Cinder. The previous Lords of Cinder. So it would be a little too easy if we could just claim their soul like that. So I guess the diluted blood of the original Lord of Cinder, spread out through all of the Legion, is now combined into one of them. The hat makes him look a little bit like a Warhammer 40k Inquisitor, or not 40k, original Warhammer Inquisitor. Except Fantasy Warhammer doesn't exist anymore. So now he's ready to rock, and I believe there's a Bloodborne fight similar to this in the sort of abilities he's gained now. So he's still just as fast, still pretty much has his normal moveset, but he's got fire now. He still doesn't have a huge amount of health, though. But yeah, when I got to this point, I was like, I gotta show this fight off, it's pretty cool. Jesus. So I was actually blocking the hit that killed me, but because it does fire damage, and my shield does not block 100% fire, that's why it still killed me. Alright, so yeah, that's the fight, and let's try to see if we can finish him. Basically, we want to make sure our roll takes us not only out of the path of his attack, but after path. Yeah, like that overhead swing where he jumps, that's just straight up one of Artorias' moves. Heavy attacks of my sword pretty much chew through his health. Like 2 more hits will probably kill him. Unless he gets super crazy. Oh, it just looks so good when he does that. So is that it? Alright, and that's it. One of the 4 Lords of Cinder defeated. Oh, that's a good amount of souls. Soul of the Blood of the Wolf. So I'm kind of curious. I'm not super versed on Dark Souls lore, I guess. But I assume the wolf that these guys are descended from, since they are sort of the faction that fights the Abyss, kind of like Artorias, who fell to the Abyss. The blood of the wolf that they all had in them was blood from Sif's line, Sif the Great Grey Wolf from the first game, and, you know, Artorias' companion. And thus, this whole thing is somewhat descended from him? I don't know. Again, I haven't dug super deep into Dark Souls lore. Like, I've read a bit of it and, you know, seen some of people's impressions, because of course Dark Souls is very kind of figure out your own lore. But yeah, that was a pretty cool fight, and oh. Can I not light this because he put his stupid message in the way? Actually, how come I can't light this from the sides? I guess I maybe have to do something over here first. Anyhow, that's it for this boss fights. We have defeated the Abyss Watchers, the Undead Legion of Farron. I've been Shadefire, this is Alexandria, and I will see you all again next time. I'm sure I'll run into some more bosses that I'd like to show off. Until then, you folks all take care. And just as a quick follow-up on what you can actually use that soul for, what weapons you can get.
Aha,
So, this one, like a lot of them, has... Oh, there's the Hollow Slayer Greatsword. Has two options. You get the Wolf Knight's Greatsword, which is straight-up Artorias of the Abyss's, two-handed greatsword. It pretty much says it right there, was the first Abyss Watcher. Or you can get the Farron Greatsword, which is what the guys we were fighting were using. But that comes with the offhand dagger as its second thing. So it's actually still a one-handed sword, even if you use it two-handed. But,
now.
Oop. I went with the Farron Greatsword because it is more dex-based, and of course that's my build right now. So, this is it here. It still looks a lot like Artorias' sword, though it is kind of newer and not black. Pretty standard greatsword skills when you're using it two-handed or one-handed. Though unlike the other greatsword I'm using, this one actually does have a vertical swing. But if we go switch to two-hand here, you can see we use the dagger in our offhand. And you can do shit like that. You can also use the dagger to parry, which is unusual. That said, I haven't really used a lot of the two-hand or the double weapons, so I don't know if that's kind of standard for the other two-handed weapons, or two-handed, two separate weapons. But yeah, so you can do the fancy like stab spin that they were doing, which I thought was using up FP, but it looks like it's not. It's pretty cool that you can do the full combo that they were doing. So it's like, first one is that, second one is that, and then the overhead swing. Alright, that's pretty cool. I might actually upgrade this weapon some and try to use it. I think it probably uses Twinkling Titanite, though, since it is a boss weapon.
Just wasn't it?
And let's see here. Yeah. Oh, Titanite Scales. So that is the semi-unique weapon.
Pretty be careful.
Alright, that's all. I just wanted to show off the sword. Okay, take care for real now, folks.